fun to see what junk can be worth at Mikey's Acre of Earth.
Welcome back to Mikey's Acre of Earth. On the last episode, we debuted Chili Willy at the Hot Wheels headquarters in El Segundo, California. And on this episode, we get to show it off here locally at a little car show put on by a group called Vet to Vet. But before we do that, I'm going to be making an art piece to put on display at the Ace of Shades SEMA booth, and it helps support a foundation called Tunnel to Towers.
Down the road here from me, there's an old holler tree where you lay down $1 or $2. Go on around the bend and come back again. There's a jug full of that good old Mountain Dew. Oh, they call it that good old Mountain Dew, and them that refuse it are few. I'll hush up my mug if you fill up my jug with that good old Mountain Dew. Mr. Roosevelt told him just how he felt when he heard that the dry log gone through. If your liquor's too red, it'll swell up your head. You better stick to that good old Mountain Dew. Oh, they call it that good old Mountain Dew, and them that refuse it are few. I'll hush up my mug if you'll fill up my jug with that good old Mountain Dew. Preacher rode by with his head hoisted high, said his wife had been down with a flu. He thought that I ought to sell him a quart of my good old Mountain Dew. Oh, they call it that good old Mountain Dew, and them that refuse it are few. I'll hush up my mug if you'll fill up my jug with that good old Mountain Dew. Snort, he sawed off and short, he measures 4 feet 2. But he feels like a giant when you give him a pint of that good old Mountain Dew. Oh, they call it that good old Mountain Dew, and them that refuse it are few. I'll hush up my mug if you'll fill up my jug with that good old Mountain Dew.
See this idea? Press and snaps, okay? Steve's idea. Okay, bro, listen, we don't want to bust it, right? Okay. We get it. Watch this, bro. And then see all this gets foam over it. We wrap it, glue it, and then up here. Then you won't see the fasteners in that. So that I have the only like exposed fasteners are decorations. And then I put these 2 little bitty ones right here in the curly cues. Right here and right there. Because there's gonna be a bunch of metal flake there. And I countersunk those hoping that these 2 little screws will kind of disappear. They're the only ones I had to be like fully exposed. Only thing I got left to do is figure out how I'm gonna drill this K on, because I have to have screws showing on it, and I really don't have very many left over, so I might use these just regular wood screws. It's gold, so it would be like 4 gold bullets holding boom, boom, and boom right there. I think I'm gonna do it with that. The last piece I got to screw on, and then I'm blowing this all apart. I have to tape all of this to the front side and then put it on my light box, transfer all of the lines on the back side with, did you eat it? A Sharpie, this Sharpie, this one right here, king size.
The king of broken hearts doesn't ask much from his friends, and he has
got a few of them. They know he will understand. That's just the way it goes. The king of broken hearts doesn't know he's a king. He's trying to forget other things, like some old shit that he sings. He's walking through alone. He talks to angels and the stars start to spin. He thinks of troubles that he's gotten in. He recalls how his heart got broken and how it's still that way. The king of broken hearts is so sad and wise. He can smile while he's crying inside. We know he'll be brave tonight.
I got the face recut, the hands and all, and I sprayed a layer of Ace Invader over top of it. This Ace Invader is a intercoat clear, so it's like putting a bookmark in it. Only trouble I had with using that Sharpie was when I didn't spray Ace Invader, in between the layers, I got a smear right here on his face, as you can see. All the rest of it worked out great, but I had all that Ace Invader. I thought I'd be able to get away with putting white over top of the Sharpie, but nope. In between that Sharpie and the colors, I needed to put that clear. Brushing wasn't a great idea either with the white and the red. I tried, I was seeing if I could just brush and make things fancy, but it caused me more trouble than it was worth. I should have took the time and taped. I'm spending all that extra time today going back and fixing all the stuff I had to mess with, but I'm really happy with it. I gotta go in here now. I have some extra candy left over from the Chili Willy over there, that Motley blue. I'm gonna throw some flake in it and just paint a transparent blue in the teardrop. And I'll spray everything with white. And then it gets buried in this Super Shine 79. That's a top coat with a hardener. I mean, it's not gonna be shining on the backside, but I am gonna use it as the barrier that holds everything down and hardens. So when I screw it to the other panel, it's not just soft and smearing. I'm gonna get back to this. I will show it to you all when it's all together. King of Broken Hearts is out of my soul and into the rest of the world. Hope y'all enjoy.
Walking through alone. He talks to angels and the stars start to spin. He thinks of troubles that he's gotten in. He recalls how his heart got broken and how it's still that way. King of broken hearts is so sad.
Ace of Shades got a hold of me and asked if I would do an art piece off of a blank card that they wanted to send to be like a wall hanger, because they have a SEMA booth that they decorate in different artists' work, and they asked if I would be one of them. And that's all for a charity auction for the Tunnel to Towers. The Tunnel to Towers Foundation supports America's first responders and military heroes, including homeless veterans and helping America never forget 9/11.
So when you made your King of Hearts art for Ace of Shades booth over at SEMA, you know, we shipped it off and we kind of like forgot about it for a little bit because I was working on the book and you were jumping on to get Chili Willy running. And I don't know why, something told me to like check on the tracking. He was showing it being stuck in Colorado for a few days. And I just felt like, oh great, now this is something that I have to make sure it makes it to SEMA, because if it doesn't, that means you put all this effort into something and didn't even get to show. And we're already coming off of you building the Chili Willy, going all the way to California, and feeling like the judging didn't go obviously your way, but just feeling not, I would say appreciate it. I can say it from my own mouth, being like, I feel like you weren't really appreciated, and I felt like you can't even do a charity piece and it like get appreciation either.
When it rains, it pours.
Yeah, when
man.
it rains, it pours, and it's like, oh great, this is something else. It's like the universe messing with Mikey. So what I did is I told Mike Taylor from Ace of Shades, like, hey, are you still in California or are you at SEMA? He goes, I'm at SEMA. I was like, Mikey's art project is stuck in limbo and shipping. He goes, I was wondering where it was the whole time. And I said, don't worry, it's gonna go to California, and then I'll have a good buddy of mine ship it to you like overnight, or we'll figure out something. I even looked at flying to California myself, grabbing it and driving it, because even though,
well, thank God you didn't have to.
yeah, because at that point, again, I just felt like it was a principle. It was like a moral thing to be like, I cannot let you put that much effort into something and not even get to show it at SEMA. But luckily, the James family over in California that has their own shipping company, I got a hold of, and I asked, hey, do you have anybody going to SEMA from Northern California? He goes, no, why, what's up? I was like, showed him the art project, told him what happened at, Hot Wheels. I'm like, can you make this dream of mine come true and make this be in Vegas by like tomorrow? And he goes, where did it get shipped to? And then I showed him the address. He goes, I drive by that town on the way home from work. So he grabbed the piece from Mike's wife, he overnight shipped it, and was in Vegas the next day.
All right, here we are at the booth, and we got a special guest from Mikey Brown. It made it. You guys need a bid on this thing. It came a couple days a little later, but you know what? We had it on our site. Check this thing out. It is a king cutout. This thing is killer. It is actually got like vinyl cutouts. It's all 3D. It's got some fur for all you fur lovers. It's got the teardrop for all my homies. But he did a great job. So bid on this bad boy.
Shipped it and was in Vegas the next day. But to me, that was one of those moments like, hey, we can't control the judging of a contest, but what I could control is this art piece to make it to SEMA. I want to say thanks to the James family for making that happen. I like to know from your perspective, when we're coming back from California after Hot Wheels and you knew that we have this show Vet to Vet to go to, like, was there any moment where you feel like you wanted to shut it down, turn the lights off, and just be in the shop in the dark and be like, no one talk to me? Or did you feel like going to Vet was kind of like a restart button for you mentally?
Yeah, I needed it. Like I didn't want to just call California cool, bring it home and put it up. I definitely didn't want to do that. I really wanted to get it running. I wanted to drive it off of my bus in front of all those veterans and like show them a Jeep they've never seen before. Like that was what I wanted to do. Got to do is make the linkage that hooks both brakes up to the brake pedal. Both throttles will hook up to the throttle pedal, and then I think all I got to do is make some T's for the oil lines, some T's for the fuel lines. So that's for the fuel. All I got to do is hook that directly into the fuel port, and then this is the vent. And then the oil tank, I ended up taking screw-in valve stems and drilled holes there so I could put ports on the top side. It was the flattest thing I could find that would fit on the inside. All of the brass fittings had to take a big nut, and then this wouldn't go on. So I used those portable, or those screw-in valve stems, because they work like this. When you get them, they've got two different pieces of rubber depending on what kind of wheel you got. I just used the one that came with it. Then you drill a hole and it's got a rubber and a stainless stem. Then all you got to do to use it as a vent tube is take the valve stem out of it, just like this, and then it's just a port. So I put that up here on all of the vents. So it's got these stainless guys in here. It should turn on, pull start, and in theory, should work. We'll see soon enough. I just want to get all this dialed in, because if I can get it steering nice and all these pedals working good, it'll just be like a big go-kart at that point. It's just gas, brakes, steering. We're getting close now. Nothing's leaking, is it?
Nothing's leaking. Nothing's like
Keep an eye under that tank over there, sis. Let me know if it's leaking.
nothing's leaking.
While it is running, because something breaks, we're dead in the water.
What does that mean?
It means like this is our first test, so like it could run and work perfect, or there could be a lot of things we've got to adjust.
Right.
Yeah, or it could break, dude. Like anything can happen. But what I'm getting at is we just really
Or it could fall out. Yeah.
well, the guy that built it has a lot of problems. So I would say that if anything on it is gonna come off, it's gonna be something I've touched. And guess what I've touched on this?
Everything.
Everything. So it can be anything, bud.
Everybody need a little bit of that old-fashioned strength. Friendship. Everybody need a little bit of that old-fashioned friendship. Everybody need a little bit of that old-fashioned.
I got something wired wrong, I think.
Help out, you know.
I didn't expect that to even be that big of a deal. I'm dead serious. I thought I was gonna come home from California. I was gonna hook up 3 or 4 wires. I was gonna hook up, 2 or 3 hoses. I was gonna pull start them things, drive it right on the back of my bus, and just drive it over there. I didn't really see it as that big a deal because I was doing it all anyway, and I wanted that off of my chest. Like let's get it shown locally and see how like the people around here feel about it. And I didn't expect the Chili Willy not to start. I didn't think that was gonna happen. And a lot of that is from my design. I changed the fuel tank location. Wasn't even thinking. I moved from on the snowmobile originally, it kind of pulls through a fuel pump out of the bottom of a tank through a siphon tube. And now I don't have that. I have like a gravity fed setup, kind of like a dirt bike does. So I need dirt bike carburetors on it.
Yeah.
So I've just got to a point on the project where I'm like, I have no more money and I don't really want to just sell the stuff that I have to build with when I can put that stuff into something else to sell to get money to have this, have the Chili Willy right. I don't want to keep taking it apart and putting it together like a little bit at a time. I want to do it nice. And I thought, well, I'll just hook the winch cable up to it, winch it on the back of the bus and go. And for the first time ever, that bus popped a fuse and let me down. Like, it's still sitting up there needing fixed. It got cold on me before I could fix it. And I told Ruthie, like, call Trent and see if he can bring his truck over here and figure out a way to get Chili Willy on, which was weird anyway, because with the tracks and the wheels, like, it's a weird rig to have to haul. And then we've never put anything up on your bed. So I don't know, like, once we got it loaded, it looked way cooler on your truck than it would have on my car anyway, especially for that vet to vet crowd. Like,
Yeah.
it looked awesome. Red, white, and blue up there.
That's true,
like,
that's true,
It was
yeah.
all American. And, you know, like, my bus it's the same colors, but with the gold and everything, it wasn't near as impactful. And then seeing it loaded up and leaving, I felt like, at first, the day started, I felt like I was letting you down. And then once we got loaded on your truck, I was like, no, dude, I ain't letting him down. Like, this is about to be way cooler. And then when we rolled in and seen the crowd there at Vet to Vet, some of them are followers of mine. Like, they were there waiting. I was running late from my bus not starting. So by the time we got there and got set up and everyone started coming in, I'm like, I brought them a little bit of a crowd here today.
Yeah.
Even Nevin's boys showed up with the van that I'd done.
That's true,
On a
yeah.
past episode. I'd done the interior in that. And seeing them boys climb out of that it's a good feeling. It felt good to be home. And even mentally, because I was in California locked into the Hot Wheels headquarters since day one of Chili Willy's build.
Yeah.
And I felt like for the first time I'm back home, I'm around not just my people, but people of the past that help us all get right where we're at. And we need to be here, and we need to show them we love them and we appreciate them. Vet to Vet is a organization put together for veterans with PTSD and their families to have a place to plug back into a community. And they put on those events to help them, you know, like, all find each other and build back more of a warrior spirit again. And it felt good to be there and see that happening. You know, some of my friends are veterans that showed up to support too. And then, you know, we lost Walter, my buddy Walter, a little while back. And his wife brought his truck out too. Walter was a veteran. And I don't know, it's like the first time I got to kind of feel Walter back, seeing that truck pull in. And it was awesome, man. Like, just seeing Freddie there with my grandma, and it felt a lot more like a family reunion than it did a car show or anything.
Yeah, exactly. And I think you spoke about earlier, like, it doesn't matter if one person came or a million people came. The matter is the purpose of that get-together happened, and all the things we would want to happen did. And again, selfishly, getting to hit the road after Vet to Vet, knowing it went so well, and I get to have the Chili Willy in the back, and then plus I didn't even think for like, what, 3 or 4 days, if not a week, I got to leave it on the back of the truck at the house, and I didn't.
So I could clean. It was such a mess in here that was like, can you please hold that? The Vet to Vet show was, like, the car was cool, the atmosphere was cool, but just like you're saying, you know, like, traveling, I love that. I love road tripping. I love being with you guys. I like that family vacation feeling.
Yeah.
And it really brought into perspective the things I'm going to change here on my acre of earth moving forward too, because I've thrashed the last few years of my life away, and now that I've built up the cars that I have and see the crowd that I'm bringing everywhere that we say we're showing up somewhere publicly, it makes me want to get out more with what we've built, show off what we're doing, and keep a couple projects around in the near future simple enough for my kids to be a bigger part of, because watching them show the Chili Willy on the back of your truck to the other kids that are there, and see how much they were a part of it all. Like, they're right here, they're in it, locked in. And if I'm not mentally locked in to the fact that they are, I'm doing a disservice to them as their homeschool teacher. So I have to calm down here and realize that I can make a real big impact by showing up for my community like we got a chance to on this entire episode. You know, I mean, we started the episode off with giving away a piece of artwork to be auctioned to bring attention towards, you know, first responders and firefighters, and, you know, bring attention to what happened on 9/11. And then to go to Vet and, like, help out people that are struggling with PTSD and families that are impacted by suicide from what people did in the name of honor.
Yeah.
And I think, if anything, like the least that we can do is come back and honor them with their time. And a lot more of my time here on Mikey's Acre Verse is going to be dedicated to doing a lot more things like we did on this episode. I really had a lot of fun this time, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. I really wanted to get it running. I wanted to drive it off of my bus in front of all those veterans and like show them a Jeep they've never seen before. Like that was what I wanted to do. But I just coming home and getting to work on it, and like the kids being around it, us cleaning it up, getting it all ready for another show, and plumbing it, wiring it, making sure that, it was a better version that I just lost with. Like, I'm not really even taking to compete at Vet to Vet. It's just a feature. Like, they're giving me a spot to come and not just like set up and show my car, but I take a display and hand out brochures too for any veterans that may see a path through Wyotech into the trades industry with their future. A lot of these guys are getting out of their military service and they're having trouble coming back and finding a purpose in their own life. And I know for a fact Wyotech can help you find a purpose through the trades industry. So they give me my own little space over there at the show too. And it makes me feel good to know that I'm accomplishing what I'm setting out to. Like, we lost, but we didn't fail. Like, I tried. Like, what my goal was to build something, show, try, and everything else is out of our hands completely. But the impact that we're making everywhere we go is completely in our control. I know that with the efforts that I'm putting forward, if I just keep building what I want to and what speaks to me and gets me around the people that I do like the Jeep isn't even one of my favorite makes and models. It's actually one of my least favorite. But I have so much respect for all these military guys, like Scott Forson. Like, him being a Jeep guy and all those tools that his wife gave us made me want to do a Jeep. It was like, man, he bought all those parts to dream up a Jeep, and I got to with it. And I know that my perspective is very, very different than an American soldier's. I do understand that. But knowing that I get to go to an event like Vet to Vet and speak to someone from a completely different walk of life to me and be brought in as someone that could bring a crowd to speak to their message to made me feel great about the loss in California. Because I got to come home around people that I love and appreciate, and they see a use in me. As long as I'm seen as useful in my community, it's always a successful day. And Willie and all the guys there at Vet to Vet welcomed us in with open arms, and even Nanny and Freddie showed up.
Yeah, and that's awesome that you brought that up too, because I thought it don't matter if one person shows up or a million people showed up. The fact that there was a moment where I saw Freddie grab up a chair and sit with the guys, I'm like, I really felt like a family barbecue. The kids were there, other friends that knew you from, back in the day of automotive world or even through Wildtech or just local came out to the show and showed some love, and it really felt more than a car show. It felt more like a family barbecue that we all got to hang out, and again to see Freddie pull up a chair and hang with the guys, I really felt like it was mission complete.
Yeah.
And even for my own fulfillment, selfishly, there was a moment where that morning we wake up and you hit me up, hey, your bus is not starting.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking like, oh, man, like I don't want to let Willie down because I know he wants to have a fun hangout today, and I know that he wants to see your rig, and he wants us to just hang out, It's just almost like we're having a Super Bowl party, and you have all the chips and dip laid out, and one of your best friends that love football can't show up, But in this sense, it was more of, even though I knew, like, hey, I got the flatbed, I got the N700, and I was like, but how are we going to even get it on there? Because we've never loaded a car on my truck yet, But to me, it was a fun obstacle to jump with you, because I felt, again, that self-worth, that self-purpose of, hey, it was a good thing I actually have this truck, right? And I got to help out, and I feel like all the moments of when you had me trailer you and the family with the Izettas to Arizona, or my buddy David having me pull that 33 Ford from Florida, those were like the first times I ever really like pulled a trailer by myself. And when I was speaking to my buddy David, when I went to Florida to go pick up this 33 Ford with him, we're halfway back to Texas, And he goes, man, I don't know why I don't have you drive. You love to drive and pull the trailer. And while pulling the trailer with this brand new GMC truck, this is my first time ever pulling a trailer with a car on it. He goes, what? I've never had you drive. I knew I've never driven a truck and trailer. This is my first time. So this is great for me because I love driving. And just like we spoke about before, I love the idea where you can compete, you can race, you can build. But when it's time for you to rest and we have to do the drive, that's where I step in. Like, I think of our combination as, like, you're the main wrestler. But there's always that part of, like, the match we remember where, like, the main guy's getting beat up on or someone cheated to, like, hurt you. And then I'm stretching, like, come on, if you can tag me, I'll get us back in a competition. And I felt like when it's time for me to drive, I feel like that's you slapping my hand and the crowd goes crazy. And then I can hold the fort down until you recharge up. And that's what I felt like going to California. And I felt like the same way when we got back here, because there was a point on the way back from California back home, I was like, I don't even know if he wants to go to this show. I just don't I don't know what your mindset is. And I feel like it's almost like saying, like, hey, by the way, you just did a huge construction project and I know you're worn out. Do you want to build, like, an addition onto the house when you get back from me? I felt really bad asking you for, I felt like I was asking you for a favor that you didn't want to do. But can you come to this car show still after we just went through the California show? But you did. And it meant so much to me. And I know it meant so much to the guys over at the Vet to Vet. And then plus, too, selfishly, it gave me the chance to feel like the coolest kid in school, because I grew up in an era where guys that if you had a dirt bike and you had a truck, you would put your dirt bike in the back of that truck and take it to school just to kind of like look at my toy. But for me, it's like I got to drive around the Chili Willy, which again is one of the coolest builds I ever seen, on the back of my truck. And it just felt like I get to do my part, dude. Like, it's, again, like boy band stuff, it's like I feel like when I get to do stuff, it's like NSYNC or something. But we all know that Justin Timberlake needs to be, like, on his own. And it's like, I get it. Like, you're so talented to where you need to be in front of the camera, but it is cool where we get to do a couple things where I feel like I get to help out,